SR. As I turn onto Main Street, I reflexively cover my eyes. Neon signs are blindingly bright as ever, and those animated holoverts are even worse. Whoever came up with the idea to add sound to those hollows should be shot. They're all giving me a headache. This place really changes in the last few years. Korea's really come up in the world. All around you can see signs of progress. Maybe a bit too fast, too soon. Maybe if I just closed my eyes. Nope, nothing changed. In fact, those signs look even brighter. Maybe I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Could be the weather. Change of scenarios in order. I'll take a shortcut home. Get away from the visual audio assault. This game does seem kind of loud. Oof. That's better. Just what the doctor ordered. I can still hear the noises in the distance, but at least it's faint now. Gotta admit, this place has a spooky vibe. Is this another horror game? I really hope I didn't just switch from one horror game to another. Just for the sake. No one's around, plus the area looks pretty run down, half expecting a ghost to pop out as I walk along. Still, my eyes sure appreciate the break. Me. Blank. A massive building on the side catches my attention. K Robotics Co. Ltd. Bet that's what it says on the main gates. One of the biggest robotics manufacturers. They're world-renowned. Even I've heard of them. They get a lot of news coverage, being a frequent topic around school as well. The company's claim to fame are their advanced Android series. Not that I would know, despite being bombarded by marketing everywhere. For me, I'm the kind of person who prefers analog clocks over digital. Pianos over synthesizers. Acoustic guitars over electric. And finally, real people over androids. Me too. I have a record player sitting right there. With These Things Happen by G-Eazy. All because I like the sound and the feel more than I like. I can stream it. I've got Google Play Music, but if I want to sit down and listen to music, I'll listen to some of my records, because I have them, I may as well. I spot what appears to be crumbled hills of metal in the distance. Yep, their junkyard is my shortcut home. Totally legal, of course, so I don't intend on getting caught. I think I know what this is now. I think it's a robot dating Sims. I'm fine with that. That seems cool. Here we are. The scrapyard for all lost hopes and dreams. Everything here is automated. No one's watching the place. Well, there are these tin can-like bots that scurry around like spiders, Probably sort through all the junk for any good stuff, and then there's the lone sentry bot. As long as I don't let it spot me, no alarm goes off. It worked for me so far. After all, robots are fundamentally stupid. Like my classmates told me. The company's dumping ground, I heard you could find some real goodies from time to time. If you're lucky, that is. Sadly, I've scoped this place out previous trips, and so far I've come up empty. Guess Lady Luck's just not with me. Or I can't tell what's useful. I'm not really a robophile. Yet. Knowing me, it's probably both. Whatever. Didn't come here for a treasure hunt anyways. Forget about the scrap, this is only shortcut home. Cutting through the place, I can shave off almost 10 minutes. Risky, but worth it. I intentionally ignore the no trespassing signs scattered all over the place. However, today was different. Hold up. I'm going to close off some of the other apps I've got open on my computer. Cool. Okay. Today was different. As I started making my way through something caught my eye. Is that ahead of me a sex robot named Lucy? That's what it's gonna be. I can barely make it out. Squinting, I come closer. Look at that. It looks like, what, a person? A woman, lying on the ground. She's not moving. Unconscious? Maybe she's hurt. Or something worse. Growing a bit concerned, I forget all about the sentry. Had I just stumbled upon a crime scene that might end up on tomorrow morning's headline news? She needs help. And since I'm the only one around, I dashed towards the fallen maiden and to lend assistance. Is that really how you'd think about it if you thought... But as I get closer, I stop in my tracks. Is that really what you'd think if you find some person just lying in a scrapyard? You'd think, oh, a fallen maiden. Best go help her on my shiny white horse. Or would you think, oh fuck, they could be hurt, I should help them. I don't know. I don't know how this dude is. Maybe. If it was just some dude lying there, he might not have done anything. I had to do a double take. That's no woman. You gotta be kidding me. It's a robot sex doll. It's so close to the real deal. 2 eyes closed tight shut. Platinum hue hair that seems almost sparkle. From afar it looks like a person, but up close there's no mistaking it. An android. Achievement unlocked. An abandoned robot. Useless piece of junk. Space bar gives me access to the full picture. Don't scare me like that. Although I've never owned an android, I've seen quite a few around me. The newest models look like the real McCoy, at least from a distance. That's pretty advanced tech, scary advanced. To prevent confusion, androids are implanted with serial codes. Each model has its own unique number. I spot the android's code near its belly. I blow off the dust and get a better look to read it. PIM001. Pussy illegal movement. Privately imagined motors. Just forget the I, call it a pussy magnet. Number 1. With a design that I've never seen before. Maybe it's a prototype, it looks brand new. If so, then what's it doing here? A failed experiment? It's caked with dust from head to toe. All in all, it's a pretty sad sight. It also hasn't moved a single inch. Looks like it's out cold. Hey, wake up. Curiosity gets the better of me and I decide to test it out. I hope her on switch isn't the exact same place as it was in Chobits, which if you've seen that show or read the manga, it's in her vagina. Or at least, that's what I assumed it was, because they always reach into her pants whenever they... Voice recognition is standard feature on all androids nowadays. Let's see if it responds to my voice. Nope. Hey, say something. Still nothing. Come on, they're gonna cut you open at this rate. I deliver a light kick to the robot's leg. It's gonna wake up. And it's going to murder everyone. Those eyes are terrifying. Upon contact, it starts to show signs of life, so it's not like Chobits. Its arms spasm and the thing chortles out a beeping sound. Still pretty rigid. The scene looks like it was plucked straight out of an old sci-fi film. Huh. Looks like it's running on reserve power. I guess it's still got a bit of juice left. Whirr. Those jittery movements are making me feel a bit nervous. The light in the eyes have yet to return. That's why the eyes look creepy. I begin to spot a pattern in its actions. It looks as if it's greeting me with a wave, trying desperately to keep my attention. I glance around. I hear a screeching sound nearby, the sound of metal being crushed. It's probably those little robots doing their job. I can tell that they're close. They'll probably reach this place in less than 10 minutes. And shred this android into a million little pieces. Its existence will soon come to an end. I kind of feel sorry for this thing. I begin to sympathize with the robot. Feel the sympathy. Because I realize just how much trouble it was in. Despite being dusty, it's still in pretty good shape. With some polish, it'd look pretty decent. Even if its current condition, the thing would still be in service. If so, why is it chucked? What happened to the product launch? Looking at it like that, it'd be a waste. All of that hard work down the drain. Maybe with a bit of tinkering, I might be able to get it up and running again. Part of me was starting to pity the robot. But the other part of me was calling me an idiot. I don't need an android in the first place. Plus, I don't like them. To use one around the house. It's unthinkable. And my father will be none too happy about it. I prefer classical music over rock. Classical literature over pulp fiction. And finally, humans over androids. Are you sure? Because this one's begging for help. Let's face it, I have no use for an android. Eventually, this robot will be scrapped. With old parts recycled. With the whole cycle starting anew. So just walk away. Guard robot. That's the guard robot. Alert. Intruder detected. Damn it, I've been spotted by the guard robot. That's the most troublesome one. If I don't make a run for it, I'm screwed. Leaving it would be the smart thing to do. I gotta go. See ya. Bye-bye. Just think, buddy. You could be fucking that robot right now. There's gotta be something wrong with me. Oh, look, he will be fucking the robot right now. Good. That's the kind of game I wanted. I should make sure that this game doesn't have any... Save. Okay. Let's see if there's a KOR, JPN. Oh, look at that. I get 2 voice choices. Full screen off on. So there's no option to turn off any adult content, which could be both a good and a bad sign. I'm gonna look it up. What's this game called? You see why. Let's find out. Steam should say whether it's got adult content. So it's not in any of the tags. Lucy, the eternity she wished for, adult content. Let's see if there's anything there. Google image search seems to think that it's okay. I will trust Google image search on the fact that this is not porn, because if I'd looked it up and there was porn, it probably would have been on that Google image search. Let's get back to this. But smart's never been my strong suit. Now I'm lugging this thing home, and I'm already starting to regret it. Back in my room, I try to scrub some of the filth off its chassis. I do the best I can with rag soaked in water. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. That'll have to do for now. Guess it makes sense the thing'd be waterproof. No harm done. Now for the next issue. How do I interact with the thing? Hey you. Whirr. Its arm begins to flail. Respond. Whirr. If you don't want to be thrown away again, just show me something. Whirr. Anything besides flailing your arms. I take that as a no. Whirr. Should have left you in the junkyard. This is somewhat aggravating, like talking to a brick wall. Might be because it's an inanimate object. That's why I hate machines. They're stupid. And this hunk of junk seems a few transistors short of a motherboard. I'm starting to get a little ticked off. Why do I even bother? Don't do something you might regret. This old saying has never been wrong. Okay, deep breath. Let's consider all possibilities. Maybe it's on reserve power. A recharge might do the trick. I grab a power cable and... Wait a minute. Hey, where am I supposed to plug this in? Whirr! I've never used an Android before, so obviously I wouldn't know. Maybe your nose? Whirr, whirr! I take that's a no. Maybe it's just my imagination, but I don't think that's the prospect. Perhaps it's trying to tell me I'm wrong. I imagine the android with an electrical cord up its nose. It'd be quite a sight. Try plugging it in. Don't try plugging it in. In this kind of game, just so you know, I'm a save whore. Let's try plugging it in. Alright, come here, you. I approached the robot with 220 volt plug in hand. Now I could definitely tell that it's panicking. Out of pity, I decide not to push it further. Then how should I power this thing? I examine the robot carefully. Maybe I missed something. Huh. It starts to jerk its body from side to side. It seems like it wants to turn around. Something on your back? I take the hint, check the back of its head. Let's see. What have we here? There's a small compartment on the base of its neck. I remove the protective lid. These look like input ports. Bingo! Let's give it a go. Looping the power cable around, I plug it in. I powered it on. Those eyes somehow seem less creepy, but more creepy at the same time. Activating primary system success. Finally, we've got liftoff. Initiating application startup. Attempt failed. Huh? Insufficient power supply. System protective active.
어플리케이션 구동 불가. 절전 모드로 이행.
I'm going to turn that off. Insufficient power supply. System protection activated. Application startup process has failed. Enter powering saving mode. Warning. No ownership records have been found. Initiating setup. Setup in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What the heck's going on? Confirming voice recording. What the heck's going on? Save complete. Wait, hold on a second. I frantically latch onto the robot. Scanning fingerprints. Pulse normal. Temperature normal. Complete. Save. Say what now? I let go of the robot immediately. Retina scan in progress. Confirming. Save complete. It's on a roll. And I don't think it's about to stop anytime soon. Registering client ID. Please state your name. What's happening? Verifying your name. Is what's happening your correct name? What do you think? Name verification failed. Re-registering client ID. Please state your name. Name verification failed. Verification on hold. Save complete. Registration complete. Abruptly, silence. It felt as if a tornado had just ripped through the scene. I gripped my head in frustration. I really should have brought this thing home after all. This is already the third time regretting it today. Why do I keep punishing myself? The robot's facing me. Its eyes still seem to have a vacant look. Like having a porcelain doll on the shelf. At least the creepy factor has gone down a notch since it moved. I decide to throw a few questions at it. Hey, I'm going to ask you something, so listen up and try to answer. You can do that, right? Or... Its head tilts slightly to the side. I'll take that as a yes. Better than expected, given our track record. Moving on. Talk to the android. Sure. So what exactly are you? Error does not compute. You don't have a name? Model name, Lucy Valentine. PIMOO1. Okay. And what's PIM stand for? Precision Instrument for Multi-Purpose. PIMOO1. Lucy is a futuristic first-class model. Oh, this is the android speaking. Lucy is a futuristic first-class model designed to be versatile in any scenario. Lucy is equipped with all the latest features. That's a mouthful. Versatile. Latest features. I wasn't expecting those words from a piece of junk that could have only moved its arm up and down a moment ago. In short, your name is Lucy Valentine. The android named Lucy is waiting for my next words. Let's try taking a closer look. I can click on Lucy. Can I click on anywhere else? What about the iPod dock? This is my room. It's a bit on the messy side. I'm not exactly a neatnik. A desk, a bed, a closet, a laptop. That's about the end of the grand tour. Oh, that manga on the shelf. I guess I click on Lucy. It looks as good as new after a wipe I gave it. That looks as good as new. Didn't look like you wiped it off at all. It possesses an alluring visage and a slender figure. Regardless of gender, I have to admit it's truly a beautiful design. Is that my gender it's questioning, or her gender it's questioning? Do robots have genders? Don't know. Maybe? That is a question for someone who's not me. I spot something on its left ear. A receiver? The robot looks like a teenage girl. Guess that's what they were aiming for. I can tell that a lot of effort has been put into creating this android. And even I can tell that it's a premium model. It'd be a waste to throw it away. Do I investigate further? Oh, I forgot. Now there's a robot in front of me. I don't think there's anything else worth mentioning. Cool. I don't think there's anything else worth mentioning. Hold on, what's this? I find something lying on the floor. CG gallery password is incorrect. I'm gonna write that down. CG password incorrect. Cool. I hope I remember that if it ever comes up. What's this? Adventure gamer. Okay, I guess I'm done clicking on the room. I take a closer look at the android's eyes. They're blue and strikingly realistic. Those are realistic? I'm looking at my webcam just in case you guys couldn't tell. Trying to figure out. Yeah, they're almost identical. So realistic. As expected from technology, one whole generation ahead of LED lights. Those eyes do look quite real. Suddenly, those peepers shift onto me. Naturally, I meet their gaze. The ocular compartment contains 2 high-performance cameras, allowing object detection similar to human eye. Is that so? I take it back. Creepy factor is still there. I decide not to look at them again. They make me feel uncomfortable. I take a look at the robot's moist, glossy lips. Coming from the guy who just said he preferred humans over robots. I don't think that's true. Hard to believe those belong to the same robo-clunk voice. Let's see if we can change that. What's the deal with your voice? Unable to utilize vocal unit. Lucy Valentine comes with 10 unique presets by default, each with different voice and distinct personalities. Using the pre-initialized equalizer, Lucy is able to project all kinds of various sounds with ease. So I've got 10 choices? No reply. Why can't you use them right now? Most features can only be activated during normal operation. During power saving mode, Lucy is only able to utilize 5% of her total features. And the solution is? Lucy requires more than 20% of remaining battery life for normal operation. How long does it take you to fully charge? From 0%, approximately 8 hours is power saving mode and 16 hours normally. I hope the electric bill doesn't go through the roof. I can't believe I'm acting like a skinflint in front of a robot. That's just silly. Forget about power saving mode. What's system protection mode? During system protection mode, virtually none of the included features are usable. It is essential to disable system protection mode to allow for normal operation. And how do we do that? Unknown. Come again? Unknown. The system protection mode only activates under certain circumstances. Further action is not recommended. Listen, you talking toaster. I'm this close to throwing you out. Well, I'll have to take it to the repair shop first thing tomorrow. When does that place open again? I decide to take a look at the robot's ears. Through voice recognition technology, Lucy is able to analyze the volume and tone of speech to process one's emotions. I haven't asked you anything yet. I take a look at the body itself. The shirt's a midriff fashion. It's quite exposing overall. For male clientele. The chest area seems a little... not that I care or anything. Can you move properly now? Full locomotion is impaired. Certain body components are malfunctioning. Which ones are you talking about? I'm not going to read any of that. Okay, that's enough. What planet did this thing come from? From now on, try to keep things simple. Can you walk? Negative. Keeps getting better. Fixing it is the only option, it seems. I think I'm starting to get the picture now. Let's do the little recap. First, that this android's name is Lucy Valentine. Second, it's supposedly a top-of-the-line model. Third, as of now, it's no better than a talking tin can. And there you have it. No choices. Guess I'll take it for repairs. I'm not exactly rolling in greenbacks, but if worse comes to worse, maybe I could still pawn it for a little bit of change. It's not like I feel guilty about it or anything. Now, who'll actually fix you? Heard of this antique shop. That's close to my school, and they do robots repairs on the side. Looks like they're the best bet. I'll pay them a visit tomorrow, but at what time? Guess morning's best option. I'll leave the robot with them and pick it up on my way home from school. That's it for now. Try to save up some energy for tomorrow. Entering sleep mode. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's powered off. That was a pretty fast shutdown. I groan as I reach out to catch its falling body. I carefully place it against the wall and straighten out its clothes. Whew! What a day. I'm totally drained. I hope tomorrow will be more peaceful. Are those yellow cherries on my curtains? Maybe there's something else. The 3 laws of robotics. I think we already went over this. May 3rd, Doctor. I've endured this far with just one goal in mind. There hasn't been a single day which I could resist. It becomes natural to go to bed at the crack of dawn. I don't recall the last time I've been home. Thinking back, it's been quite a long while. 15 years. 15 years have passed since I started this project. But the end is near. 15 years of hard work and determination. After all this time, the fruits of my labor may finally be realized. How long have I yearned for this day? I'd almost given up on you so many times. But I've persevered and finally succeeded. I barely managed to hold back the tears. I remind myself it's still too early to celebrate. I must restrain my exuberance. I'm teetering on the brink of complete exhaustion. I've been pushed physically and mentally to my limits. I've become a shell of my former self. At least 15 years have taken a huge toll on me. I can't wait any longer. That is why, please open your eyes, Lucy Valentine. This appears to be the doctor that created Lucy. And the 3 laws again. Nothing's changed. October 13th. Me. Tap. I shut off the alarm by reflex. I gradually get up to check the time. A wall poster of some anime? I don't know what it is. The clock reads 6:30 a.m. School starts at 8 sharp. It takes 30 minutes to get there, so I have about 1 extra hour. There's plenty of time left, and I'm still feeling tired. Closing my eyes, I lie back down. I decide to catch more Z's. After a brief moment, I get back up. I realize that I'd been forgetting something. Come to think of it, wasn't there a... I look around for the android. There it is. Still dirty. And there it was, dressed in provocative clothing, with a tall nose, luscious lips, and hair glinting in silver. The android's named Lucy came into my view. Lucy. As I call out to her, I'm greeted with an immediate reaction. It seems to be revving itself up. It mutters something and starts to rise off the floor. A robot with looks no different to those of a real person. Also, with a pretty face to boot. Don't get the wrong idea. Just because it's attractive doesn't mean I'm interested, since it's a robot. In other words, it's like checking out a girl from a magazine, except that feeling is amplified tenfold in this case. And it's right there and you can fuck it. Although technology is improving, a huge gap remains between humans and robots. You can't approach a person like you would with a robot, no matter how close a robot could simulate a human being. Machine and man will always be different. And I continue staring at the android. I think to myself, what kind of greeting should I be using here? Good morning. Did you sleep well? They all feel out of place. I decide to ask it about its condition instead. How's your battery levels? 100%, fully charged. No issues have been reported. Good to know. I let out a yawn and I make my way over to the bathroom. That's the bathroom. Finishing up my morning ablutions, I dry myself up with a towel and head downstairs. There's no hands on that clock. Entering the living room, I spot a couple of plain sandwiches on the table. Grabbing one, I start munching down. It's always the same sandwich from the convenience store just across the street. While chewing, I glance around the living room. A lot of tissues. My father has already left for work. He's always leaving early and returning late. Actually, he typically spends the nights at work. That's how it is around here. Is the doctor his father? Maybe. I head back to my room. The android is waiting for me in the exact same spot. Looks like it hasn't budged an inch. As expected from a robot. Putting that aside, I start to prepare for school. While packing my bags, I start to wonder if the robot has any magical regenerating abilities. How do you feel now that you're fully charged? Are you able to walk? Its head slowly turns to face me. Significant damage to lower limbs. Unable to carry out normal operation. Repairs are required. Keep things simple, remember? Walking is not feasible in current state. Still? Aren't you a real pain? Anyways, I understand. I'm not even gonna make an attempt to fix it myself. I'm way out of my depths here. I'll see what happens once I take it to the repair shop. Just about finished packing. Only thing left is the android itself. So how am I going to lug this thing? Place it in my backpack, carry it on my back. Aren't those the same thing? Because you'd put your backpack on your back too. Eeny, meeny, miny. I'm just gonna go with this one. That one seems more fun. Guess there's no other choice. Kneeling down, facing away from the robot. Alright, hop on my back. It tilts its head to the side, looking confused. After noticing that, I start to get a little irritated. Top of the line. Yeah, right. Am I supposed to explain every little thing? Listen up. Put your arms around my neck and climb onto my back. Can you do that? It follows my instructions to the letter. Confirming request. Is this correct? Stop. Surrender. The strangling grip loosens. I collapse onto my knees in coughing fit. Think I nearly blacked out there. Are you trying to murder me? There's no need to put that much force into it. Just do it enough not to fall off. Honest to God, thought I was a goner. That thing's got steel vice chokehold. This android should look to be a world wrestling champion. Okay, let's try that again. Second time's the charm. Rising off the floor, I brace myself for the extra weight. Huh? But lo and behold, it was deceptively light. Wouldn't you already know that? Didn't you carry it back from the junkyard to here? Okay. Think I'm coming around to appreciating the first-class products. And liftoff. The weather's not too bad. Brisk autumn breeze cool against my skin. I gladly inhale the crisp morning air, letting the night's stress melt away. The streets are still quiet, which is good. The less there are to see, the better, especially with what I'm lugging on my back. Let's see here. Where's that repair shop? If memory serves, it should be about 15 minutes away, which is a relief, as I'm not really what you'd call a fit guy. No, I'm not. Not sure I can spiel this thing much longer. And now this robot's fidgeting. Hold on tighter so you don't fall off. I feel like I'm scolding a child. Hey, stop moving around so much. I could feel the android through my clothing. Its textures feel surprisingly similar to humans. I'd noticed it yesterday, yet I managed to surprise me again today. And that's not the only thing. It's warm to the touch. Feels like I'm carrying an actual person. Probably just its heating system. That would explain it. Well, it feels just like a real person. I mutter to myself absent-mindedly. The thermometer is operating as normal. Say what? A thermometer allows Lucy to simulate human temperatures. Good to know. Motherboards and microprocessors consisting of various computer chips. There must be thousands of those inside a single android. The heat emanating from the machine. It's as warm as human skin and feels just like us. But it's not a real person. Just an elaborate fake. Something I fear what progress in technology would bring in the future. Do you know where we're headed? With a whir, the robot shakes its head sideways. We're going to a place that'll get you fixed up. When they begin the repairs, you need to be still and quiet, so they won't be distracted. Do you understand? Hey, I'm asking you if you understood. Say something. Maybe it took my command literally. I just hope it got the message. Letting out a frustrated sigh, I resume walking. That one was a good one. It'll be about time for my classmates to head in. I begin to hurry so as to avoid running into anyone that might recognize me. I arrive at the place in an aching and huffing mess. Sure has the look of a small antique shop, though mostly dealing in second-hand goods. They do dabble in robot repairs. Word is they've even fixed. They're even a fixer who likes robots, and that he's half decent. Normally, I wouldn't be caught in a place like this, but there's unusual circumstances. I like the look of the place. Place looks nice. What? A customer already? Hold on a second. Talk about grumpy demeanor. Oh, I used the wrong voice. I'm sorry. After a while, a man emerged from the back, scratching his head. I was thinking old man gruff voice, and judging from the non-too-pleasant expression, I'm pretty sure this guy's not exactly an early riser. Stifling a yawn, he asks, "So what can I do for you this early in the morning?" Unable to move my arms, I gesture to the android draped over my back with my chin. "Can you fix this?" "Is that an android?" Wiping his tired eyes, he gazes intently at the robot. "Let me see here. I don't think I've ever seen this model before." I spot a glint of curiosity in those sleepy eyes, half-closed eyes of his. He walks over and takes a closer look. Well, I'm stumped. Can't make out this model. It's probably some obscure model from an unknown company, or it's never actually been released to public. Where'd you get this, kid? Well, how should I play this? He might call the cops on me. And what I did was clearly illegal. So, what should I say? I found it lying somewhere outside. It fell from the sky. Tell him the truth. This one I'm going to save for, because I feel like telling him the truth. Tell him the truth. Dude, he's not going to call the cops on me. Oh no. Good thing I saved. Because there's a big Lucy.exe has stopped working. Cool. Let's hope my saves didn't get corrupted. Load. Tell him the truth. Hey, it worked this time. Didn't crash. I found it in the junkyard. Junkyard? You don't mean the company's junkyard? He tossed his thumb over his shoulder. I'm not exactly sure what he's referring to, but I haven't seen any other junkyards around here, so yeah, it's probably the one. You've got some guts, kid. I hope you know how much the fines are. I know that anything in the world is free as long as you don't get caught. You're funny, kid. I like that. Well, guess he's cool with it. Cool. Wait a minute, what's this? A nasty frown forms on his face. Is something wrong? Yeah, you could say that. Suddenly he starts fussing like a little kid. What kind of sicko would do this? Just look at it. The whole frame's ruined. It wouldn't even be able to move around properly on its own. He was right. Pretty suave for of him to point that out. I guess he's real deal after all. So you think you could fix it? That's not the main issue here. There's something more important. And what's that? Do you have the proper resolve to take care of an android? The resolve? Where's this coming from? Listen, androids break easily. They're fragile. They're sensitive. They're delicate. Do you get what I'm saying here? He emphasizes the 3 points. That's how passionate he was about it. I can see that he was a real lover of robots. But at the same time, he starts to freak me out. He continues to rant. To a lot of people, androids are nothing but fancy toys nowadays. I mean, those kinds of folks pay for my food, my bills. But whenever I hear about how they've been mistreating their androids, I tend to lose my temper. They don't understand how important these creatures really are to us. I unwillingly take a small step back. Creatures? This man just referred to androids as creatures. He's not right in the head. From time to time, there's been people who fall in love with androids. Not just carnal desires. I'm talking about people who are willing to spend the rest of their lives with androids, treat them as equals. It's a controversial topic. It's getting more discussion. It's abnormally spawning from an advancing civilization with constant innovation in technology. As someone who's never seen this happen firsthand, I've always refused to believe it. I can't believe such people actually exist. An android simply lacks the intellect to be paired with a human being. It's nothing but a glorified hunk of metal that can make our lives a bit easier. I'd rather spend the entire rest of my life with monkeys. At least monkeys are actual living creatures. And they share many similarities with humans. This is my first-hand experience in such cases. I have the hiccups. I'm going to grab another soda. And I feel more disappointed than shock. He seemed perfectly normal. Guess just can't judge a book by its cover. I'll get it fixed, but you better treat it right. Got it? Really? I'm not the one who banged it up in the first place. Even so, I don't feel like it's worth starting an argument over. Let's just get this over with. Crystal. Yeah. What a great kid. At least you listen to someone who tells you something. Since we're all chummy now, how about lowering your prices? Oh, that was me talking. Since we're all chummy now, how about lowering your prices? Ha! Don't push your luck, kid. That was full 180. So much for our budding friendship. You know what? Fine. Half price since you're first customer of the day. I'm relieved to hear that. Any discount are most certainly welcome. Great. Can you have it? It's a pretty late date, so yeah, it's doable. He punches some numbers in his calculator. Then he shows me the results. I was planning on charging you about this much. What do you think? I assume it's a really large number. One that I can't do. I blank out for a bit. There's a lot of video games that I've always wanted to buy, and I need to save up for new textbooks that I'll be using next year. This robot has better pay itself off. Fine, I'll pay you when I come back. Holding out my treasured pocket watch, I glance at the time. I've wasted too much time here. An out-of-date gear clocker in this day and age. I like it. It has a nostalgic charm. I'm well aware that these types of watches are hard to find, but more importantly, this is my personal way of rebelling against the constantly developing society. Hey, you piece of junk. Can't you hear me? No response. I finally decide to address it by its name. Lucy. The robot immediately reacts. What's with this thing? I'll be back after school. Behave yourself, alright? The android wobbles its head back and forth. I'm hoping it understood me. Maybe it's like this? Like this. That seems more like a back and forth motion. That's up and down. And with that, I leave the shop. Are we having fun yet? I'm having fun. I'm enjoying this. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep streaming, but sure. I hightail it towards my high school. I'm in second year. While running, a movie I saw recently sprang to mind. An old sci-fi flick set in the year 2050. All of these oldies seem to be lacking in one thing. Creativity. A few showcase large-scale space battles. Others would have flying vehicles soaring through the sky. Well, guess what? It's 2050. And we don't have moon-sized starships. Or flying cars zipping around. People still walk to school. People still drive normal vehicles. People still ride bicycles and skateboards. Some people use old fountain pens or pocket watches like me. But there exists a single piece of technology that's become more prominent in our lives. Androids. They're being used everywhere around the world. That's one thing that these age films got right. The morning bell snaps me from my reverie, and I dash straight to my classroom. Please refer from running in the hallways. A janitor android scolds me for rushing past it. These types of facial recognition software to report any transgressions. Like me. Except I simply cover my face, and there's no record. You gotta know how to exploit the system. Safe. Bolstered by my recent victory, I strut towards my desk in a confident swagger. I notice that the teacher's not in yet. I plunk down in my seat while still huffing. That was pretty close. Did you sleep in again? There's that concern-filled voice. It's coming from the guy sitting next to me. A clever-looking fellow. People usually refer to him by his nickname, Dr. Gears. That's because he's a real geek with a burning passion for robots. On the other hand, despise robots, and while I'd label him myself an introvert, he's very approachable and outgoing. Moreover, our tastes and hobbies differ quite a lot. You'd think we'd have nothing to do with each other, but as they say, opposites attract. I know, weird, right? No, I just had some business to take care of. Really? This early in the morning? Uh-huh. It's a long story. I'm cut short by a middle-aged man making his entry. Our teacher. A female assistant android trails behind him. Let's talk about this later. I send him a signal. He returns a thumbs up. Lunchtime rolls by. I take out my freshly bought piece of bread. Dr. Gears does likewise in a very appealing lunchbox. 2 desks have been joined together. These look like tables, not desks. On mine, there are a couple pieces of fried croquets, which are carrots and chocolate, with a carton of chocolate milk. My friend, on the other hand, has quite a tasty spread on his, which he seems to be enjoying immensely. I've heard that his maid android makes it for him every morning, and the food doesn't look half bad. Then again, anything looks better to a poor schmuck like me who eats bread every day. Problem with the food, or... never mind. Problem indeed. I bite down on the croquet. Color shift. Delicately piercing its golden, crispy, warm surface, a savoring scent wafts forth. The sweet flavor of dough mingles with the tantalizing aroma, creating a heavenly mixture. But that's not all. The cream inside unleashes its softness as it slowly melts onto my tongue. The vegetables in the mixture proving a strong, rich flavor. The eggs and mashed potatoes join the fray by pleasantly blending in with the other ingredients. This refined taste, it must be. Had you gone there, didn't I? Setting aside the sad excuse for a rubber substitute, I pose a question to Dr. Gears. By the way, didn't you once tell me that you had a lot of androids at home? Huh? Yeah, around 6, I think. That's a high number. A typical household can't afford that many. Rumors that Gears is from a well-to-do family. Why the sudden interest? It's nothing. Oh, wait a minute. He started gritting like an idiot. Hey, your food falling out of your mouth, you know? You've taken a liking to androids, haven't you? So you're calling off this little war of ours. More like a temporary truce. Good enough. I'm really gassy right now. Androids are simply amazing, you know. They're truly the greatest invention that science has delivered since the beginning of mankind. There's quite a few types. My favorite is the maid models. They take care of all the chores and really know how to cook. On top of that, the female ones are pretty cute. Sometimes I find myself admiring their beauty. You've got one sick, twisted mind, Gears. Tisk tisk. Don't you know that people can achieve inner peace with beauty? It's been proven by science, you know. I shake my head wearily. I do admire his enthusiasm over something so petty, though. Really. Look, it's what's on the inside that counts. What are you talking about? Appearances don't matter. It's still a crummy, stupid robot. Here's an example using people. Let's say there's a person with a pretty face, but he's a man. Does the fact that he's got a woman's face change anything? No, he's ultimately a man. Likewise, even if you see a beautiful android, since it's ultimately a robot, its aesthetic doesn't matter. It's just become an illusion. What I'm trying to say is that even if a robot acts like a person, it's not. Therefore, all robots are the same to me, and I dislike them all. I guess you still haven't changed your mind. But there has to be a reason why you brought this up, right? Normally you wouldn't even talk about it. Well, yeah. If you're looking to buy one, I'm here for you, man. I'll make sure to fill you in on everything you need to know. I'm telling you, you'll be making the greatest purchase of your life. In response, I rub my cheeks in embarrassment. I'm not exactly looking to buy one. Could it be that you're worried about the price, my friend? Don't worry. I have some connections that'll let you have one dirt cheap. As long as I'm with you, there won't be any problems. No, it's not that. There's no need to buy one. Now, just what do you mean by that? Fidgeting awkwardly, I wonder if I should tell everything. I found one somewhere. Found what? An android. You found an android? Yeah. Where? At the junkyard. Holy, you lucky bastard. Is it something like an IDX 358? Or 455? What model is it? Something that starts with a P. I can't remember. Someone told me it was a pretty recent model, but I haven't seen anything impressive yet. Might as well give it some time, though. It was free after all. Now you've made me curious. I'll be sure to pay you a visit soon. He pauses for a moment before continuing, as if he's trying to change the subject. Well, I'm certainly happy that you've taken an interest in androids, but what? But you should be careful. About what? You've seen them on TV, right? People who are obsessed with androids. They say it gets really tough to deal with as time goes on. Robots are robots. Humans are humans. You should never forget the boundary between them. Wasn't I just the one lecturing you about that? How the tables have turned. I will be the one turning the tables soon. Robots are mere tools designed to make our lives easier. Nothing more, nothing less. Me being struck by lightning is more likely. Fall in love with a robot? Ha! That's just crazy. I know, of course. I don't expect that that to happen to you of all people. But you know, better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. Alright, I'll keep it in mind. Keep your dick in your pants, it's all good. He nods in response. Before I knew it, the day's last class finally came. At last, another monotonous day of school was coming to a close. But it feels like this lecture is lasting an eternity. It's like I'm stuck in molasses. The chalkboard is filled with scribbles that are barely decipherable, making it very hard to understand the lessons, which is painful enough already. Ugh. I can't take it anymore. The teacher's also awful at explaining things. His words go through one ear and out the other. Unable to hold back the incoming fatigue, I let out a small yawn. And glancing around, it looks like no one's doing much better. All these mediocre teachers have one thing in common. Their teaching method is way too convoluted. A bunch of rotten snobs, that's what they are. And yet, time marches on. The teacher's dreadful onslaught of words ultimately comes to an end. Watching a politician's speech is more riveting than in comparison. All that's left now is to go home. Time to get out of this place. I pack my belongings hurriedly. Waving goodbye to Dr. Gears, I start to head home. On the way, I suddenly realized something. I nearly forgot about the android. And almost ended up heading straight home. I doubled back towards the repair shop. Arriving, I peek through the windows. Place isn't too busy, but no sign of the repairman. Wasting no more time, I head in. How is this guy's voice again? I don't know. Welcome to the antique shop. As soon as I set my foot inside, I immediately greeted by female staff. The voice has a sweet, vibrant texture. I wish I'd known that before I said that. It really caught me off guard. I'd never expect a girl to be manning the store. I guess she's a part-timer. I turn around to face the person calling out to me, and my jaw drops to the floor. You. Her face lights up when she finally recognizes me. It's Lucy. Master is finally here. Lucy's been waiting all day long. That voice is gonna kill me. It was the android named Lucy Valentine who had greeted me at the door. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? There's no way that useless thing could be standing there talking to me. And what's with that smile? I double check. You're Lucy, right? Yep. None other than Lucy Valentine. Well, I guess that settles it. How'd you end up like that? What about Lucy, Master? The voice, and your face. And you're standing on your own, right? Yes, of course, Master. Lucy is standing on her own 2 feet. Ha. Lucy puffs out her chest, looking proud. I mean, that's not really something to be proud of, but thinking back to how she was before, this is a damn well impressive. You do look better now. There's nothing wrong with you anymore. Is there nothing wrong with you anymore? Yes, Master. Lucy feels like she should soar through the skies. For emphasis, she spins in place like an excited ballerina. She had the appearance of a mature, well-pampered maiden, yet at the same time looks silly like a child. But her spin abruptly ends as she crashes to the floor. And there goes my peace of mind. Still not back to normal yet, it seems. Lucy smiles sheepishly. Well, I'm at a loss for words. That deceptively human voice. Her vibrant personality, full of such emotion. Her face displaying all manners of expression. Each movement bursts with spirit passion. To say that I'm amazed would be a gross understatement. My brain's turned to mush. I can't utter a single word. I won't show it on the outside. It's weakness to lose control of your emotions. Well, that plus, I don't want to admit that I'm surprised. That's one heck of a change in a few hours. Lucy's first compliment from Master. That makes Lucy very happy. I'm complimenting the guy who fixed you up, of course. No, impossible. The look of disappointment on her face was quite surreal. How can I possibly explain this? Magic? Had to have been enchanted by a witch. Old childhood stories start to spring to mind. The 9-tailed fox who desired to become human. The little mermaid who also wished to be a human. What happened to them? Let's just say they didn't get a happy ending. Didn't the Little Mermaid get a happy ending? I don't know much about the 9-tailed fox, except for that's part of the lore of Naruto, which I never watched, but... I don't know. But this robot makes me think. If that Little Mermaid's wish ever came true, wouldn't she be celebrating just like this? Enough of this claptrap. Back to the matter at hand, which is, where's the repairman? Say, what happened to the guy who put you in charge? The owner left a while ago to go shop for parts. He's not here? What about the store? Ahem. An excellent assistant is currently on duty. An assistant? Where? So where's this assistant? Ahem. Ahem. I don't see anyone. Ahem. Well, that sure looks like took the wind out of her sails. She's having more highs and lows than a bipolar patient. Feeling bad for her, I decided to drop the act. Okay, I get it. You're the one in charge for the time being. Yep, that is correct, Master. Lucy is the one in charge. She sure bounces back fast. Moreover, what's the deal with the repairman? Leaving Lucy to take care of the store on the first day he's met her? Such a ditzy robot. You'd have to be a few cars short of a full deck to think that was a smart idea. Hello? What could Master be thinking about? I'm not thinking about anything. And you can stop calling me Master all the time. But Master is Lucy's master. Use my name instead. But Lucy doesn't know what Master's name is. Please take the opportunity to teach her now. True, I botched it up last time. Let's run through the choices. I'm Kai. Kai? I have an even better name. That caught me off guard. The name's Mr. Handsome. Master mustn't lie like that. It's bad to trick people. Lying is evil. So you're telling me I'm ugly? What? No, Lucy never meant it that way. It's a mistake. She curls up instinctively, thinking she might be scolded for messing up. Master shouldn't lie about his name. Please tell Lucy Master's real name. Really? And why do you think I'm pulling your leg? Lucy saw Master put his name in a while ago. Oh, come on, even the game's working against me. What if I'd put in Mr. Handsome? Shit! Why didn't I save whore? I could have found out. Oh, God. Forget it. Just call me Master. Understood, Master. Why didn't I save whore? Master. What? Master. What do you want? Lucy just wanted to say it. Are you messing with me? No, of course not. Lucy's just very happy to have someone to call Master. That's why she wanted to say it. She cracks a wide smile. If she were human, I'd think she was on drugs. But for a robot, maybe she's still got a screw loose. Literally. Or her program's still corrupt. Whatever the case, I just can't get a beat on her. And where's that stupid repairman? "10 minutes later. The man in question finally shows up. As soon as we lock eyes, the guy makes a beeline towards me and nearly bowls me over as he pleads. Please let me have Lucy. What kind of screwed up situation is this? It's like he's asking for my daughter's hand in marriage. I shoot back. No, I will not let you marry her. What are you on about? You hire something? That's my line. What do you think you're doing? The owner takes some time to collect himself. Maybe I got a bit carried away. Kid, how about I pawn that android off for you? Pawn that android off you. Now, why am I not surprised? You want me to sell her? Yeah, I can give you this much. He takes out a calculator and shows me the figure. My mind goes numb for about 5 seconds. You serious? Of course. What do you think? Not a bad deal for a student, right? This is a ton of dough, even for an adult. With the state of this place he's in, I don't think he has that kind of capital. He's obviously desperate. I stare at Lucy in silence. The android frozen like a statue. The face of hers is almost looks sad, like a slave about to be sold off at auction. It's an apt description. Well, maybe that's a bit extreme, is it? Because you're about to sell her. He's not about to eat you alive or anything. I turn back to face the repairman. You'd pay that much? Do you really think Lucy is worth that kind of money? Of course! He yells in excitement. Jeez. Deafened much? Listen carefully. Any decently priced robot model comes with an AI, or a module that allows them to mimic human emotions. You know that much, right? Sure. Well, creating such models is an incredibly complex process. Even then, you don't know how they'll perform. Compared to a real person, they're still a long ways off. Right. Even cutting edge, their mimicking emotions is rudimentary at best. We're still not at the stage where where it's considered genuine. I think I'm beginning to see the picture here. Looking back at Lucy, I start to put together what he's trying to tell me. You're a sharp one. Teaching kid pretty well off these days. So, you savvy what I'm saying? Lucy's actually a person disguised as a robot. Lucy's actually a princess under a spell. Lucy is an exceptionally well-made robot. Lucy is actually a princess magically turned into a robot. It's the only way to lift the curse is a kiss from a handsome knight, right? Judging from the look he gave me, I'd say he's somewhat concerned about my mental well-being. So in that case, think before you speak, alright? I'm joking. You're telling me that Lucy's an exceptional robot that's about to close as close as it gets to a real person, right? Honestly, I was quite surprised about that as well. I've never seen such a robot that could emulate a real person so well. Even the new models nowadays reveal their flaws after a minute-long conversation. But I couldn't sense anything particular out of place when chatting with Lucy. It felt just like talking to a real person. Yep. To put it simply, this is a person made out of metal. A human robot. An Iron Maiden. A revolution in the robotics industry. The guy who created Lucy must be a true genius. Uh-huh. That aside, good thing he caught himself before calling Lucy a certain power-armored wearing superhero. Nobody likes patent infringing lawsuits. Anyways, if she was such a spectacular robot, would she really be thrown away like that? I did run into something weird. There's something sort of built-in protection feature that was stopping the robot from working properly. A protection feature? Right rings a bell. Something the junk version of Lucy might have mentioned yesterday. Whatever it was, she seems to be doing fine now. And you removed it? Yeah, it wasn't too difficult. Since it was just one of those you put on display models. I'm just curious as to why they would bother doing such a thing before throwing it away. He appears to be lost in thought. It might mean that the inventor wanted to keep his new technology sealed away from humanity. If not, then maybe... What if there was a serious bug? That's what I thought so too, so I ran some tests and found nothing. It's safe to say that she won't be harming anyone. Why would she ever want to harm people? I'm just saying that she properly obeys the 3 laws of robotics. At least she won't be a threat. The 3 laws of robotics. It's about to say them again. 1. A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. 2. A robot must obey the orders given by a human being except when such orders would conflict with the first law. 3. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protections does not conflict with the first or second law. These laws enable humans to keep control of robots. They make sure that humans will always have authority over robots. And that's how we can avert any catastrophe. I've heard that if a robot ever disobeys one of these laws, it would immediately shut itself down under any circumstances. That's why there aren't any glaring flaws in this system. I shift my focus back to the number of displays on the calculator, glancing at Lucy. I remember the forlorn puppy. It's really bothering me. Just don't sell her. With some determination, she approaches me. Master? Sorry to interrupt, but... What's wrong? Lucy just wanted to say that she's really capable of doing anything. That's why Lucy believes she could be a big help to Master with any task. Yes, and? So what? So that's why, I never get tired of seeing Lucy look so depressed. It seems to satisfy the hidden sadist within me. She's really trying to put on a show for me. Essentially, she's self-asserting, advertising product. You don't see that every day. But willing to go this far for me, it would be too cruel to let her go on at this point. I'm not going to make the deal, so don't worry. As I finished my sentence, the looks on their faces were as different as night and day. The repairman sulks while Lucy breathes a sigh of relief. Anyways, she's good to go now, right? Here you go. I resignedly fork over the money. All my hard-earned cash. Bitterly, the repairman accepts the payment and after a moment's hesitation. She's better. But be careful not to put any strain on her legs for a while. Keep it light and cut down on excursions. Sure. So we gotta play piggyback again? Wonderful. She's not too heavy, so I can manage. Thanks for all your help. This guy's really got it bad. Practically bleeding out over the android. Maybe I'll throw him a bone. Look, we'll do regular checkups. Sound good? Okay, but make sure you treat her well. And don't overlook her too much, alright? See you later too, Lucy. You can come visit anytime. The look on his face while waving goodbye to Lucy was truly spectacular. This time, he seemed to be a father seeing his daughter leave with another man. Guy's completely out of it. I definitely made the right choice. Exiting, we head out onto the sidewalk. Isn't there supposed to be... Oh, look at that. There's music. I just turned it off. Exiting, we head out onto the sidewalk. I stop in my tracks. In silence, I kneel down, facing away from Lucy. Hop on. I add in an explanation to make sure that she understood. That means you lightly put your arms around my leg and climb onto my back. Master? Just a quick question. What is it? Does Master think that Lucy is dumb? I guess I no longer have to worry about being choked to death. I feel her weight gradually shift onto my back. For a robot, she's very light. She was probably measured to weigh as a normal girl. Huh. What is it, Master? No, it's nothing. As soon as she climbs onto my back, I can't help but notice a fragrant aroma rising off her body. It's neither too intense nor fleeting. It gently spreads evenly around my nose. It starts with a sweet, fruity scent reminiscent of a youthful girl. Yet there's a hint of spice akin to a mature woman. It doesn't fail to stimulate the mind of a teenage boy going through puberty. This is bad. I've never experienced something like this. It didn't happen this morning, but why now? It's probably because of the smell. It wasn't there earlier. Feeling a little faint, I desperately try to get a grasp on the situation. Master's heart rate is rapidly increasing. Is something the matter? She's measuring my heart rate. That's not fair. I feel a little embarrassed for revealing that I'm nervous wreck right now. Unable to hold back, I decide to be honest with to myself. This smell, what is it? It's because of that. The man at the shop gave Lucy all sorts of gifts. He told Lucy that since she's a girl, she needs to take good care of herself. She takes out a bottle of perfume amongst many other makeup accessories. Geez, that guy's scary. Real scary. He's the type of guy who would spend a whole day forcing his pet dog into different clothing. If you'd consider that as animal abuse, wouldn't it be some kind of robot harassment? Well, I don't know. All this stuff just for a robot? What a silly guy. Why are you laughing? No reason. Had I just been seduced by a robot? Well, there goes all my dignity as a human being. Is it too heavy? What are you going on about now? I purposely try to sound irritated. It doesn't affect her anyway, however. Lucy's body. Is Lucy too heavy for Master? Sure. Well, you're lighter than I expected. Is that really true? Yeah. Does Master really mean it? Master isn't planning on dropping Lucy off a cliff while she's basking in happiness. Is that supposed to be funny? Have you been deceived all your life? Maybe I was being too rough on her. I don't think she'd start being so skeptical. Before I ruin her completely, I decide to treat her like a little kinder from now on. I hear a small giggle coming from my back. Would a robot really feel that flattered to be called light? I don't know. Humans can't be expected to understand robot hearts. She doesn't have a heart. She's a robot. Soon enough, the street became immersed in an orange glow of the evening sun. The scenery was changing more slowly than usual today. Maybe it's because I'd been carrying Lucy on my back, but it's not that that a lot of the time has passed. Winter was just on its way. As evidenced by these increasingly shorter days. Lucy hasn't said anything in a while. I steal a glance at her, wondering if she's asleep, but she's not. She appears to be lost in thought, staring at everything in sight. She looks like a child inside a pleasant dream. I can see her eyes sparkling. Is it really that fascinating? What does Master mean by that? This place. Oh, yes. It's quite marvelous. I can't say if I agree with that. Unlike downtown, there aren't many distractions here to keep us busy. Nor are we near any beautiful landscapes. We're just walking down a plain old street that you can find anywhere. What part of this place do you find so marvelous? Everything. Everything? Yes, absolutely everything. In the past, Lucy always needed permission to go outside. Lucy didn't have many chances to wander the streets like this. Yeah, so basically, it's fascinating to see what everything changes around Lucy as she moves about. A fresh new sight to behold, one after another. Being able to take in everything is Lucy's own pace. Lucy finds that delightful. That way everything looks so marvelous. I see. I couldn't relate to the sensation she just described. Master? What is it? Lucy is very sorry. What's with you all of a sudden? I'm caught off guard by her unexpected apology. Had she really done anything wrong? Lucy was being too chatty and annoying today. She is very sorry. Lucy is supposed to be calm and understanding to others, but... I found it strange how Lucy was telling me what kind of person she was supposed to be. If anyone other than Lucy had told me the same thing, I'd probably have laughed at them. Anyone by himself will never be able to find out what kind of person he truly is. Sitting in front of a mirror reveals all the flaws of your body. Sitting in front of a person reveals all the flaws of your personality. If you ever want to find out something about yourself, it needs to be reflected back to you by something else. That is why attempting to describe your own personality is the same as describing what kind of person you'd actually want to be. It'd just be a bunch of pretentious nonsense. But this is only the case for humans. Lucy's an android. She's not human. That's why it doesn't sound strange coming from her. Lucy was probably just happy to be able to greet her first master. It's also been a while since Lucy was last activated, so that was a bit exciting too. It was such a natural explanation about how she felt. She was happy to meet her first master, and she was happy to be able to finally move around again. You've never served anyone else before? No master is Lucy's first. Is that so? So she's a new model that no one else has ever touched. The line of thinking sounds dirty, but that's not what I mean. Lucy really enjoys her time back at the lab. The researchers were all so very kind. Lucy talked about a lot of things with everyone and learned a lot, too. A lab, did she say? Well, I'm sure they treated her well. Whenever Lucy said something interesting or whenever Lucy did something as she was told to do, they were very happy. They would say Lucy's very smart and pat Lucy's head. Lucy liked that very much. That's why Lucy decided to learn a lot more and do a lot more things. And they came to love Lucy even more. They were probably just testing her abilities. In my mind, I found a whole scenario unsettling. To Lucy, however, it was It's a treasured memory of her past. But there's an important question to be answered. Then why were you abandoned? I've always been meaning to ask her for the half a day that I've known her, but I can't easily bring myself to do it. I ask myself why. Maybe it's because I'm starting to care about the robot's feelings. I shake my head. That's just plain nuts. It's only because she sounds like a real person. It's a dangerous thought. Let's get it out of my head. I blurt out the question. Then why were you abandoned? Lucy goes silent. Nothing is said for a while. The quietness stretches out into an awkward silence. I start to regret asking the question. Because no one loved Lucy anymore. With those words, Lucy finally breaks the silence. Somewhere along the line, they stopped smiling at Lucy. They stopped praising Lucy. Eventually, they forgot about Lucy. While running on reserve power, Lucy could only keep track of the passing time, doing absolutely nothing. It felt like an eternity. Those days went on and on. Then one day... Lucy got silent for once more. Then one day she found herself left in the dust, what she probably wanted to say. Maybe they didn't like something about her. They found a significant flaw within her design. But I don't like the fact that they had just tossed her aside after giving her so much love and attention. Aren't they being too inconsiderate? A small rage boils inside me, directed at those cruel researchers with no sense of responsibility. When I regain my senses after a few seconds, I become surprised at how angry I was. What was I thinking? They were just throwing away a failed experiment. The object on my back was nothing more than an impressive fake. She's not real. She's not a living creature. It's only natural that a useless machine be thrown away. There's no need for me to be so angry. Master's pulse is rising again. Is something wrong? It's nothing. And stop measuring that all the time. But Lucy is programmed to record Master's temperature automatically. Then it's an order. I order you not to measure anything from now on. An order? Then Lucy has no choice. There's another silence, but this time, not an unpleasant one. But Lucy is very thankful towards Master. I just can't seem to figure out the robot's train of thought. What? Lucy doesn't know how much time has passed since she was thrown away. But judging by Lucy's own temperature, it seems like a long time had passed. Lucy was always surrounded by darkness, and she could never sense any human presence. It was very dark. It was very quiet. Lucy was feeling very lonely. Then suddenly, Lucy heard a gentle voice. I don't remember talking to you like that. But to Lucy, it was like a soft, tender whisper of an angel. At least in the dark abyss, the light that Lucy had lost so long ago finally returned. It was Master who found Lucy. You're overreacting. She's definitely going overboard with this. I just happened to notice her while casually passing by. Lucy tried her hardest to make Master notice Lucy. Lucy pushed and pulled her body with all her might. And then Lucy, once frozen hand, miraculously started moving. There were only a few words which didn't contain any significant meaning, and it was only a moment's whim that I'd taken her home. But I was surprised that those simple actions were such a big help to the robot. Lucy is very thankful that Master has taken her in. Being able to say the most embarrassing things without hesitation. I guess that's one of the advantages of being a robot. I can feel my face beginning to flush. I quickly duck in order to hide my embarrassment. Shut up. I'm going to make you pay for what you're worth, so you'd better be ready for it. Yes, master. Lucy's prepared. What's so funny? Why do you keep laughing like that? It's creeping me out. Lucy doesn't know she cannot contain her laughter. Maybe it's a malfunction. What should Lucy do? Lucy quietly rests her cheek against my shoulder. The sensation of her soft skin causes me to flinch. She feels very much different compared to this morning. It feels like I'm carrying a real person on my back instead of a robot. I start to wonder what could be causing the difference in perception. Was it just a placebo effect, or had something really changed this morning? If something really did change, well, was it me or the robot? I continue to ponder over the question on my way home. I never managed to come up with an answer. And that's where I'm going to end it today. My voice is starting to die. And, yeah. I might be back streaming later if a friend comes over. I don't know if he actually is. He's got some shit that he needed to do tonight. He doesn't know. But that's everything, folks. Thanks for watching.